Change. Never, 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 never. I never changed. I never changed. Still stuck in my way. I never changed. What is it, man? A blizzard? I never changed. I never changed. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. I never changed. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. Come on in, get your clout. Get your clout up today, man. Get your clout up. It's a clout stream, man. Happy Thursday, man. Come in, double tap. Hit the live button. Get your clout up right now. Come in, double tap. Hit the live button right now. Double tap. Hit the like. First person in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. Another Thursday, Mega Thursday on the move. Mega Man on the move. Another great thumbnail, another great topic. The government is back open. Claps and applause. A round of applause. Round of applause for President Trump and MAGA. How can we keep winning day after day? It's a saga of victories. It's just vainglorious. It's just vainglorious Valhalla. It's vainglorious Valhalla. Magnificent MAGA victories, vainglorious Valhalla victories. That's what it is, baby. Vainglorious Valhalla victories for the magnificent MAGA men all over the Trump universe, man. The government back open. We're going to go into the details of what it means. We're going to go into the details of what it means that the government is back open. We're going to go into all of the current events. What does it mean that the government is back open? Everybody listening and watching and tuning in. We got the details right now. So yesterday, we talked about 43-day. Our audience here predicted 41 days. What did we say? We said 41 days of a shutdown, and it turned out to be, the odds was with us, man. I said we've been in the driver's seat the whole time, man. The odds was with us, man. 41 days. It turned out to be 43 days. Trump signed into bill last night, reopening the government. Today is the great reopening, the great government reopening. Thank you, everybody out there. Double tap hit the like button. Double tap hit the like button. First person in the chat gets shouted out, man. President Trump, man, the number one president. This is the longest shutdown in American history. The previous longest shutdown was 35 days. Under President Trump, it was from 2018 through 2019. This shutdown is going to be greater and longer lasting in its effects. If you ask me, it's like we're getting put through another quarantine. The long lasting effects, budget wise, monetarily, from this shutdown will be felt for a long time. And I think that was the goal of the Democrats. If you listen to Democrats today, what the Democrats are hoping is that the pain that I believe they shut down the government for so long on purpose. They wanted to elongate the pain of the last administration. See, the government was doing better. See, you guys, yesterday we talked about $2,000 tariff checks. And then in the chat, a lot of people were talking about $2,000 based on the tariffs. Now, it's funny now how this whole time Trump been in office, only 10 months, he has a 4-year term. This is where the lazy intellect comes into play. Trump has a 4-year term. He's only been in office 10 months. He can't be responsible for everything that they want to blame him for. It's just lazy intellectually. So people hear about this $2,000. They don't know where the $2,000 comes from. To give all Americans who are eligible, it would be, I think I read somewhere like $300 billion, right? For the $2,000 tariff checks. Did you hear about the $2,000 tariff checks from President Trump? First in the trap, Wilbur Nola, those $2,000 checks aren't going to happen. So just to give you details, just so you know where we're at, we have collected $195 billion. See, a lot of people come in with the naysayers. Maybe you don't want it. So Wilbur, when you get your check, just send it to Perfect Timing Podcast. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead. You can put it in the super chat. You can put it in the Cash App. Cash App, $ Big D Rants. Send me your $2,000. Wilbur Nola does not want his $2,000 check. But let me explain the same thing, how we got the 41 days, why we're in the driver's seat, why we happen to be right a lot of times about a lot of things is because we give the context and we actually read and we know details. We don't just come and say offhand, off the cuff things without the proper knowledge, right? Number one, we have to have the knowledge before we speak. This is something that you learn as a child. Some of us learn it, some of us don't learn it. But what you need to understand, let me give you context. How much money have we collected in tariff revenue? Why is it even an option? You see, because this $2,000 check would not even be floated or discussed if it were not for Donald Trump tariff policies and how much have we collected. Now, there are a lot of contextual pieces to this argument you got to keep in mind because we've only been collecting tariffs. We've only been collecting tariffs since October 1st, right? We've only been collecting tariffs since October 1st. And this is what's so amazing about the administration. We collect tariffs on October 1st. And what is it? What is it now? Double tap at the like button. Double tap at the like button. It's November, right? It's the middle of November. So what is that? What is that? August, September, October, 3 months collecting tariffs, we already have $195 billion. So for people and the naysayers, they don't really understand the context to this debate that we're having about this $2,000 tariff check. What you want to know and understand is how much money have we collected and how long have we been collecting before we understand if we can pay out the $2,000. And what I just explained to you is we have more than enough money because by the time the end of the year rolls around, that will be double the amount of time. We will probably have collected over $300 billion. So Trump would have been able to pay for the $2,000 checks simply just by collecting tariffs starting August 1st. Not the entire 10 months of his presidency, not the entire 4 years of his term. So where would America be after 4 years of Trump tariffs? Think about this. What type of reservoir? Maybe we could help places like California who don't have water, who don't have fire hydrants. Maybe we could stop fires in California, right? If we collected tariffs and we dealt with the trade deficit, because this is $200 billion only since August 1st. This is $200 billion only since August 1st. How much money will we collect in 4 years? Let's say if we get $200 billion every 3 months, there's 12 months in a year. So what is that? 3 times what? Let's say 3 times 4. That's 12 billion, possibly a year. Over 4 years, we're talking about 40, 50, 400 to 500 billion dollars in tariff revenue for the American people. How can you argue this? Now, wait a minute. That's tariffs that we collecting that we never collected before, but that's not the full scope. That's not the full scope of the tariff and the trade. We're going to get to the government being reopened. I'm going to give you all the details about the government being I like math. I like doing the math because I presented a lot of information here. What's up, Brian Williams? That's not the full scope. The full scope beyond tariff revenue that we collect from charging other countries is don't forget about all of the investments that we have made. Remember, I told you about Harley Davidson in India. So Trump have gone to the EU and he has made investment deals based on our tariffs where EU has promised to invest billions into America to avoid tariffs. They are willing to build plants in America, guaranteeing jobs for American workers. Same thing happened when Trump went to Japan. And I love Trump for going to Japan. Instead of Trump worrying about the Democrats and their fake propaganda, Trump went to Japan to secure jobs. While Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and Jasmine Crockett were playing dress up, Trump was doing the real job of being a politician and a leader. He went to Japan and secured $500 billion in investments, including $10 billion from Toyota, directly building automotive plants. I read the article here. I even played where he shook hands with the brand new Japanese prime minister, the brand new MAGA Japanese prime minister in her inauguration speech, where she echoed MAGA immigration principles. Hello, has anybody been watching my channel, paying attention to the actual news? I said Trump was in Japan with the brand new Japanese prime minister. They signed a $500 billion billion investment deal. This is separate from the tariff revenue that we've collected to pay out the $2,000 to each American citizen. Don't you deserve a $2,000 rebate check? Don't you want a $2,000 rebate check? I am giving you the contextual tidbits to the argument that the trolls and the naysayers won't give you, but I know you need the $2,000, so I know you want to understand this data. Double tap and hit the like button. Double tap and hit the like button. We're talking about $2,000 to every American family. We're talking about $2,000 to every American family based on the tariffs and where that tariff revenue would come from and where it has come from. Since August 1st, Donald Trump tariffs have collected over $200 billion. To pay out the $2,000 to every American family, it would be $300 billion. So we will collect that amount of money before the end of December. But I did the math. Over 4-year terms of Donald Trump tariffs, we're talking about $500 billion that we will collect from countries who never paid us. But outside of that $500 billion, Japan just invested $500 billion plus $10 billion from Toyota on plants. Do you understand how this tariff thing is working now? Do you understand how this tariff thing works now? Do you see? So you vote for people like Zohrani Mamdani, the Morani, and who has seen it is laughable? The government reopens, and the truth, the wizard. You know, we got Wicked Part 2. The Wizard of Oz behind the curtain has been revealed. I said the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain has been revealed. Zandani, Zohran Mamdani, Morani. You call him Zohran Mamdani. I call him Morani. He promised you free buses. What did I say? I said New York is in debt. Chicago is in debt. I said post-quarantine, the country is in debt. We are down police officers, post-BLM, post-police reform, post-defund the police, defund the police. Do you guys remember defund the police? Do you remember BLM? You know what happened, what actually happened to large democratic cities that defunded the police, that listened to the BLM rhetoric? Well, they are broke. Do you know why? Because when you have less police officers, but you still have to keep the citizens safe, you have to pay out a lot of overtime. So Washington, D.C., down 1,500 officers. Chicago, down thousands of officers. NYPD, down thousands of officers. It's not just the fact that these major democratic sanctuary cities, these ICE-free zones, are down police. It's how much it costs to police a city when after the BLM. See, we don't talk about BLM anymore. We don't talk about reform the police, and we don't talk about why our cities and crime have exacerbated. It's because the police officers are exhausted, because we have less police officers after quarantine. Do you understand those numbers will go down now after 40 days of shutdown? I'm going to read to you details where people have quit and lost their job. Police officers, federal workers, which is FBI. We are less safe as a country. We didn't pay our soldiers. We furloughed air traffic controllers and federal essential employees. We were less safe at the airport. Do you guys understand what truly happened over the past 40 days? Crime is not down, Monica. Crime is down in Memphis. Crime is down where Trump went. And I showed black people, Monica, a woman that looks just like you in Memphis, who said, my children can play outside now. I showed black people in Washington, D.C., who said, my children can play outside now. Do you know why black children were not able to play outside in D.C., in Memphis? Well, I told a story about big balls. Let me share with you a story about the children who carjacked and beat a man to death, almost to death, in Washington, D.C. Do you guys remember the story of Big Balls? How this all started, where the violence got pointed out, that there were teenage children running around the Capitol Mall around 2 or 3 a.m. Listen to this. They had gangs of teenage children in Washington, D.C., 20 to 30 packs of children, just like in New York. Remember that famous case in New York where all those kids were running around Central Park committing crimes and nobody could stop them? It was because we didn't have enough police. In Washington, D.C., there were gangs of youth, 13, 14, 15-year-olds running around the Capitol Mall, and no one told you how or why. Well, it was because we were short-staffed when it comes to police. After quarantine, Washington, D.C. is down 1,000 officers, and they are working off of overtime. Officers are working mandatory overtime to police the Capitol. So at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, a young man who happened to work for Elon Musk, a young man who happened to work for the President of the United States, a young man who was part of a Doge team to help save you money because you were upset that immigrants got $10,000 on their EBT and you never got help. See, you were upset that immigrants who weren't citizens were living in luxury New York apartments and luxury New York hotels. So Doge was created because you were upset. You complained. Remember, Monica? Remember when Trinidad Agua Venezuelan cartels came to Chicago, came to Aurora, Colorado, and kicked black people out of their apartments? You asked for help. Doge came to help. Doge on a plane. Doge with a cape. Doge, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump came to help. As he was walking home from work, Big Balls was assaulted by a group of black teenagers, 14. Now, one of the teenagers happened to be a 15-year-old girl. Did you know that? Did you know the people who tried to carjack a woman and beat up a young man who tried to protect that woman were 14 and 15-year-old young black teenagers, and one of them was a girl at 3 o'clock in the morning? There are a lot of questions here because you are wanting to know that crime is down. And I am explaining why people said, I can't let my children play outside, because there are 14 and 15-year-old felonious criminals walking the streets and going to school. Let me tell you the complete story. These individuals almost beat this young man to death. If he would have fell on the ground, he could have been beaten to death. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They were arrested. Both the young girl who was 14 and the young man who was 15 at 3 o'clock in the morning committing a felony. Thank God they were arrested. But wait a minute. Guess what? The black female judge let them go home. You didn't know this, but I'm telling you right now. Let me tell you this right now. The Democratic, liberal, black female judge let those two criminals go home. That's why it's unsafe in the streets for children. That's why it's unsafe at schools, because now that 15-year-old and that 14-year-old goes back to school with my kids, with your kids. But my kids don't commit crimes. See, my kids have a father, right? My kids don't carjack. My kids are not out at 3 in the morning. My kids are not criminals. But the Democratic judge who let them go is saying, my children now have to go to school with people who carjack, with people who are out at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's why we say it's unsafe for our kids to go outside, because liberal Democratic judges let criminals go. You want another example? Do you want another example? What about the poor girl who was stabbed to death by a person who was released 35 times? He had 35 mugshots. You want to know why it's not safe outside? It's because liberal Democratic judges let criminals go 35 times. He was arrested 35 times. He had 35 mugshots. But so what? The liberal judges said he needed a second chance so he could kill and kill and kill that young, beautiful girl. Rest in peace. And now these 14-year-olds who attacked and tried to carjack a woman are free to commit another crime. That is your America. That is your democratic liberal America. I said they're free to commit another crime. That is the truth on the streets right now. That is the truth on the streets right now. Can we get to the government shutdown? Can we get to the government shutdown? Can we get to government being reopened? I love giving the education because it's important that you get the education. It's important that you understand the actual issues. Let's get to the government being reopened. Let's get to the details of the greatest president in American history going after the insurance companies. Let's talk about the minutia, what really happened, why we were shut down. Trump ends historic 43-day government shutdown with funding bill. President Trump signed legislation Wednesday. Double tap, hit the like button. Everybody watching right now. Everybody watching, we getting into it right now. I need everybody watching. Double tap, hit the like button. It's so important. Don't be slow. Don't be stingy with the likes. Shout out to you, Kyle. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to you, Danita. Double tap, hit the like button. Do like this. Boop, 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 boop. Double tap, hit the like button. You're working on your cell phone right now. I know you don't want to go to another channel. It's so important you hit the like button to get us out there to broaden the conversation. The American people deserve to know the full roam and spectrum of the debate. You have to double tap. You have to double tap. Rick said hi. How you doing, Rick? Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for being polite. Show some politeness to everybody in the chat. Birdman, thank you for saying hi. Thank you for being polite. Show some respect and show some unity and love to everybody in the chat. Everybody say hello to Kyle. Everybody say hello to Rick. Everybody say hello to Birdman. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. 43 days of a shutdown. Let's get into the details. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. President Trump ends a historic 43-day government shutdown with funding bill. President Trump signed legislation Wednesday to restore federal funding through January 26, which is very sad. And what we got to understand is we don't have a budget. I'm very excited that the soldiers will get paid and that the air traffic controllers will get paid. I even heard TSA agents may get a $10,000 bonus along with their back pay, which they deserve. But what we need to understand is that this didn't have to happen. President Trump signed legislation Wednesday to restore federal funding through January 2026, and we can't let this happen again because we don't have a budget. We don't have a budget right now, and is it a potential that we could face this same shutdown battle at the end of January, and the American people are still owed a budget. Donna said hi. Jonathan said hi. Shout out to you, Donna Dixon, for coming in. Shout out to you, Jonathan, for saying hi. Let's continue with the information. Hey, Birdman, Rick, Donna, Jonathan, Kyle, all you guys, double tap, hit the like button, share the show, get it out there, let everybody know what's going on. I truly appreciate your support for watching. President Trump signed legislation Wednesday to restore federal funding through January 2026, concluding the longest U.S. government shutdown that started October 1st due to the partisan disagreements over healthcare subsidies. Is very important. This is why we're talking about the insurance company. Great thumbnail today. Perfect. Thank you so much. Over healthcare subsidies and border security. The shutdown furloughed 800,000 workers and inflicted economic damages estimating at $7 billion to $14 billion. I hope it was worth it, Hakeem Jeffries. I hope it was worth it, Chuck Schumer. Listen to this. Affecting air travel, national parks, soldiers, and soldiers' wives. Republicans praised the bill for avoiding Democratic demands, while Democrats condemn cuts to food assistance and health care programs, anticipating renewed conflicts as funding nears expiration. So they want to fight again in January, but they're not being honest to the American people what they really want to fight over. When they talk about these Affordable Care Act subsidies, they're talking about things that are now law in the big, beautiful bill. They're talking about things that are now law in the big, beautiful bill. The federal government shutdown, which began October 1st, why did it begin October 1st? Because the Congress owed us a budget. They still owe us a budget in the form of appropriation bill. Over disputes on spending and healthcare subsidies officially ended late on November 12th when Trump signed a bipartisan funding bill. This marked the longest shutdown ever, surpassing the 35-day record from his first term in 2018 and 2019. The bill extends funding through January 30th, 2026 and provides full-year support for key like Key areas like agriculture, extends Veterans Affairs, and the military. Thank you to our soldiers, man. Veterans Day just passed. While reversing some Trump administration layoffs of federal workers. Key impact and fallout: over 800,000 federal employees were furloughed or worked without pay. Man, thank you for your service, leading to widespread economic strain. Food banks reported a surge in demand. I told you, 300% surge in food banks in demand, and everybody still ain't got their food stamps. Air travel faced severe disruptions due to understaffed air traffic controllers. SNAP food stamps benefits were partially delayed, sparking battles. The administration has now withdrawn its Supreme Court appeal, ensuring full November payments resume. National parks and museums are reopening slowly, not all at once, but experts estimate the economic hit at $20 to $30 billion, man. Was it worth it, Chuck Schumer? Was it worth it, Chuck Schumer? Was it worth it, AOC and the squad? With lingering effects on data collection and household surveys, political ramifications. Trump hailed as a big victory. I said a Valhalla, vainglorious victory. I said, like the big beautiful bill, a vainglorious Valhalla victory against Democratic extortion. That's right. Trump said this was a victory against Democratic extortion, blaming them for the impasse. And the shutdown factored into recent Democratic. So the Democrats, the reports are saying the Democrats believe the shutdown was successful because they had marginal victories in Virginia, in New Jersey, and the Zohrani Mamdani. But the odd thing about when you read reports about Democrats seeing that the shutdown was a success based on the election, it lets me know that they never cared about you, your food. They never cared about the ACA subsidies. It was always about the election and what did they really get out of the election. If you do the congressional math, which I educated my audience on, the congressional math says that the House is still led by the Republicans. That's the only reason the government was back open, because we have a 219 to 213 majority even after the 5 seats. Now think about this. This whole thing was about 5 seats. The Jasmine Crockett 5 seats. They needed to win those 5 seats so bad because they think they can get power in 2026. For those of you who thought this was about food stamps, for those of you who thought this was about anything but Democrats and maintaining power and Chuck Schumer keeping his job, you learned something today, and you learned something after you saw what they had to say. The duration was 43 days, October 1st through November 12th. The cost on the economy was $20 to $30 billion in lost productivity, worse than the 2019 shutdown. Now, the bipartisan vote, House voted 222 to 209. 6 Democrats crossed the aisle in voting. Do you understand? In the House, we have a 219 majority. So 6 Democrats voted for the clean resolution after most Democrats voted against the clean resolution 14 times. What's key to keep in mind about the deal is no ACA subsidy extension was in there. Now, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer said they were holding the government hostage because for 20 million people, insurance premiums would go up. But at the end of the day, the Democrats lost. The Democrats caved. They opened up the government after holding you hostage for 40 days, and they didn't get shit. I promise you, they didn't get shit. And they did not explain to you that on November 1st, the big, beautiful bill went into effect. Obamacare overhaul. Trump pushes direct payments to Americans. Have you heard about the Obamacare overhaul? Congress. Let me see. Hakeem Jeffries, leader Hakeem Jeffries, is giving everything he's got on the floor. He just accused Trump of being the real Speaker of the House. The American people will throw Republicans out of their job. So Hakeem Jeffries last night arguing that he wanted to keep the government closed. Hakeem Jeffries arguing with other Democrats in the House to not vote for the bill. That was the Democrats yesterday. Did you guys know that? Congress ends a 43 shutdown with GOP senators January 6th lawsuit provision. On November 12th, Congress passed a bipartisan funding bill reopening federal operations through January 30th after a 43-day shutdown that furloughed 1.3 million workers. The bill includes a clause allowing 8 Republican senators, Lindsey Graham, listen to this, Lindsey Graham, Josh Howell, Marshall Blackburn, Ron Johnson, Ted Cruz, Tommy Tuberville, Cynthia Loomis, and Dan Sullivan to sue for up to $500,000 per violation if their phone records were accessed without notice in January 6th. Capitol right. AutoPen, Democrats and some Republicans have criticized their provision as taxpayer-funded self-enrichment, with House Republicans planning a repeal vote next week. I don't think so. I think it was a great vote, and this has a lot to do with lawfare. Lawfare is cool for Trump, but it ain't lawfare ain't good for us. No, man, $500,000 per violation. $500,000 per violation. New Lindsey Graham tells reporters in South Carolina he plans to sue government after his phone records were accessed in J6 probe. Oh, definitely. And if you think I'm going to settle this thing for $1 million, no, I want to make it so painful no one ever does. Shout out to the MAGA Republicans for adding that into the bill. AOC just said this: 8 senators are giving themselves over $1 million each while robbing Americans of food assistance and health care, houses, even on the floor. How can Congress enrich itself by stealing from the American people? I absolutely agree. They never wanted to open up the government.
And issues of
They never wanted to open up the government. They never wanted to open up the government. Today, I am calling for insurance companies not to be paid. This is from the desk of the president. Let's have a real talk this morning. I am calling today for the insurance companies not to be paid, but for this massive amount of money to be paid directly to the people so that they can buy their own health care. The government supposedly, I said yesterday, we thought the Democrats shut down the government for principle. How many people thought the Democrats shut down the government for principle? We thought the Democrats shut down the government because of the Affordable Care Act subsidies and the insurance premiums that would go up. There's a couple things to understand about this conversation. Number one, the Democrats wrote the Affordable Care Act. Can we get that understood in the chat? It's called Obamacare for a reason. I said it's called Obamacare for a reason. It's called Obamacare because the Democrats wrote it. Do you understand that? Now, the Democrats wrote and passed Obamacare in 2008, 2009 under your king of Wakanda, Barack Obama. Now, Obamacare never was solvent. It never was complete. Barack Obama even admitted himself that it needed to be refined and improved. Do anybody remember that? I remember that in the last administration under Joe Biden, when you guys had a Democratic majority. You had the House, you had the Senate, and you had the presidency. The Democrats passed a Band-Aid to Obamacare. I'm going to say it again. The Democrats wrote Obamacare. The Democrats wrote and passed the ACA. And then under Biden, the Democrats created a Band-Aid instead of fixing the ACA, which Obama said we needed to do. It never was complete because he barely got it through. This was his signature legislation. It's always been shit. We always knew Obamacare was shit, and it never functioned properly, correct? Obama admitted that, right? Now, it was supposed to be fixed by the Democrats. This is a problem of Democratic design. The Democrats created Obamacare knowing it could not pay for itself, knowing it could not sustain itself. So it needed a Band-Aid. It needed government subsidies because it couldn't pay for itself, right? So the Democrats created subsidies under Joe Biden. This is what I want to share with you this morning that makes this so evil and sinister. Not only did they write a bill that they could not pay for, not only did they pass a bill that they could not pay for, but then they passed a Band-Aid and then made the Band-Aid temporary. I need to know from you, do you understand and can you explain to me why they would create something that they could not pay for, and then when they couldn't pay for it, create a Band-Aid, but then make the Band-Aid temporary? Why did Joe Biden's administration set the subsidies to expire? The biggest part of this debate that's evil is that no one is telling you that the reason that the subsidies are expiring is because that's the way the Democrats wrote it. Do you guys get that? When everybody, the insurance premiums are going to go up. The insurance premiums are going to go up. Well, Biden made them expire. Why did he leave them to expire if he loved you? If he cared about your health care, why didn't they make the fix permanent? And then this is what an intelligent person would say. This is all gobbledygook. This is all dumb time. Really? Do you understand we're on dumb time? Because the first thing you would ask is, Biden, why didn't you make the subsidies permanent? Why would you create a scenario where you would have to fight and beg the Republicans? Number two, this is what an intellectual person would say. Why didn't you guys just write it correctly the first time? Why didn't you do it right the first time? And when you had a do-over, think about this as kids. You make a mistake, I give you a do-over. The American people gave the Democrats a do-over. We elected Biden president after being vice president for 8 years. We elected Biden president after being vice president for 8 years. We gave you guys a do-over. Fix it. Fix Obamacare. The American people want it. Fix it. And the Democrats didn't fix it. The Democrats put in a Band-Aid and made it temporary, setting up this fight. I think that's evil. I truly think that's evil. And I don't know why they won't be honest with you that we created the problem. We wrote the Affordable Care Act. We knew it couldn't pay for itself. And then we made a Band-Aid, and then we made the Band-Aid temporary. Zeke is saying he's talking about something he knows nothing about. And Zeke, you're out of here, Zeke. You're out of here, Zeke. Because you don't have any facts. You don't have any facts. Give me a fact. Say HR this. Say on July 4th this happened. Say this many senators voted for this. Don't just come in my chat and say some ominous, evil, negative thing, right? Okay, because I'm going to kick you out. There was an entire word salad with no syllable. You're out of here too, because all you guys can do is say negative, mean things without actual facts. LOL sounds extremely informed, actually. Thank you. Thank you, King Trill. Debbie said, Jalen, take 60 senators so it doesn't matter what the president is. So now we're actually talking about some real things. People actually know numbers about the congressional math. They know 60 senators. They know the nuclear option. Those are the individuals I want in my chat. I want the people who understand nuclear option in my chat. I want people who understand congressional math in my chat, right? Who understand the numbers, right? That even after special election, that the Republicans still hold the majority, that we have the majority in the Senate. Do you understand? I need intelligent Americans in the chat. If you want to be a naysayer, it's fine. Just go do your research and learn the congressional math. Learn that the House is 219 to 213. Learn that the reason that the government is back open is because last night 220 House representatives voted for the government to be reopened, including 6 Democrats. If I was a Democrat, I would want to know who voted to open the House. If I am advantageous, if I really care, if I'm not just trolling, it matters to me. If I'm not just trolling and I'm not just an idiot, it actually matters. It matters the numbers, right? In America, it used to matter before participation trophies went out to this new generation. What's so sad about the podcast is when I do my analytics, most of the people watching me are 60 and 40 and 50. So it's kind of weird, the reactions that I get, because you guys are old enough to know better. My audience is old enough to know better. It's actually embarrassing, the way some of you act and the way some of you allow the BS to be in the chat. It's embarrassing, and it is really indicative of why we're dealing with the bullshit we're dealing with in America. Right now, this is why we're dealing with the bullshit that we're dealing with in America, because not enough Americans know what a clean resolution is. You know what's so sick? You know what's so sick about this debate is that we don't have a budget. I wish there were more intelligent people who watched my channel. The most sick thing about this as the Democrats grandstand is we still don't have a budget. And as an American citizen, what you really should be upset about is that they owe you a budget. They owe you a budget, as they don't owe the budget to Trump. Listen to this. This is the part about the trolls and the low level of intellect in America right now. You are so happy to point a finger and make a joke that you don't understand you are being cheated. The American people lose. American people lost with the 40-day shutdown. The American people are still the losers today. Why? Because the American people don't have a budget. How are we operating in the #1 country in the globe, the richest country in the world, without a budget? Right? If as an American citizen, you should be pissed. You should be pissed. But instead, they trained you. This is the sick part. The Congress still getting paid. They got shut down the government for 40 days, and they stopped federal employees from getting paid, but they still got paid, and they're not doing their job. Everyone else don't get paid if they don't do their job. The Congress shut down the government. They still got their paychecks. No one else got their paychecks, but this is the sick part. They got their paychecks and they didn't do their job. Their job was to create a budget by October 1st. You are their boss. I know you want to troll, and that's the sick part. That's the sick part about the dummies in the chat. I know you want to troll, but you don't understand that you are their boss. You are their boss. And they owe you. You are their boss, and they owe you a budget. You are their boss, and they owe you a budget. You are their boss, and they owe you a budget. My friend has said the same thing you're saying for weeks to me. I personally have never had Obamacare. He said Obamacare is a money laundering scam, so I'm glad I never had it. It always was about the money. It always about the money. It was always about the money. I gave you plenty of facts. Kenneth Caldwell, you just don't like he's telling you the truth. I gave you plenty of facts. Kenneth Caldwell said, again, those few Democrats only flipped because they were promised a December vote on the ACA subsidies. Why is that necessary, Kenneth? It's a hustle. It's a hustle. Why would Joe Biden and the Democrats create the expiration date? Why? Just to do a two-step and to hustle you? Why did they create that? Now let's go to let's talk about this. Let's talk about this attack on the insurance companies by Donald Trump. And what's this right here? Let me show Donald Trump signing the paperwork, reopening the government. Donald Trump, we got the government back open again. Let's get that right now. Then we're going to get to the ACA.
For the past 43 days, Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers. Republicans never wanted a shutdown and voted 15 times for a clean continuation of funding. The federal government will now resume normal operations, and my administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again. And it's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again.
So I see people making excuses. I see people making excuses because they couldn't get it passed without having a time period set. Okay, why do you accept that? This is the Young Turk. This is why I know I'm dealing with idiots. If you over the age of 40 and that's your opinion, that's a damn shame. I'm dealing with idiots. And I believe you are willingly ignorant, right? I believe, Dante, you are willingly ignorant. How long did it take to pass the big, beautiful bill? This is what Chink of the Young Turk said. Why do Democrats accept these bullshit excuses from your leadership? I'm gonna ask AI. You ask on your phone right now. because we just got the biggest legislation. Donald Trump only been president for 10 months. How long was he president when he got the big, beautiful bill? He was only president for about 6 months. Donald Trump was only president for about 6 months, and he got the largest legislation in American history approved, right? Trillions of dollars, the biggest, beautiful bill. And you accept that bullshit excuse. Echelante Dante, you accept it. And I've heard Kamala say this. Oh, Donald Trump. Well, even when Donald Trump wasn't president, I remember when Kamala was vice president, and she said, well, Donald Trump called his friends in the House. You're in power. Why do you accept these excuses from your Democratic leadership? You're the president. Brandon was the president. Kamala Harris was the vice president, but they still sought to blame Trump. The big, beautiful bill caused my veteran father, who served in this country his entire life, to lose his health care because it cut veteran health care funding. So Dante is a troll. Dante is a troll. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's like getting shit from AI. You know what I'm saying? And he's not dealing with the facts on the ground, right? This is the problem. I don't understand why people want to be just, I don't know, because they're real veterans that are hurt. Over the past 40 days, real veterans were hurt. The economy at Debbie, the best economy we have seen in the last 30 years was under Biden. Are you high? You going on timeout for that? You going on timeout? I'm putting you on timeout for that because you just trolling too. How much was eggs, Debbie? How much was eggs under Biden? I've never seen eggs cost that much. And under every Democratic president, gas was $8. Double tap, hit the like button. Everybody right now, double tap, hit the like button. We having a great conversation. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Double tap, hit the like button. I've never seen eggs get that high. And every time a Democrat is president, gas goes to $8 in California. And where does that money go? You know what I always ask? When we have these gas spikes under the Democrats, I always want to know, where does that money go? As the Democrats be like, oh, I don't know what we can do about the gas prices. That never happens under Republicans. I just heard Donald Trump say the other day, he is trying to get it down to $2 gas. That's almost better than a $2,000 rebate. Donald Trump is saying, I am working to get gas down to $2. And then what he said about California, he said, every time I'm president, I get the gas prices down, and then California raises the taxes. Every time I try to help the American people and the people of California, your Democrat leaders steal the money from you, and they don't even put water in reservoirs. And you want to troll after your house burns down. After your gas is $8 and it all goes to rich Democratic coffers. Not once. I live in California. The roads are shut down. And right now they're building tolls. They're building fucking turnpikes on California freeways. And we have the highest gas and the highest gas taxes. Every day I say, how can you charge California drivers a toll to be in the fast lane when we have the most expensive gas and the highest gas taxes? It's because Democrats. It's because Democrats and the ignorant trolls in the chat. I think they believe the joke is worth it. They think the joke is worth the high gas tax, and the toll. If I can just say a joke, then I will pay. We live in a new sick generation that wants to be a troll more than they want justice and freedom and fairness. They won't even ask the question. Hey, gas in California is too high. Where's the money going? If we ran out of water and we have the highest, California has special gas. No one has gas like Cal. Did you guys know this? California has special gas. It makes no sense. Salute perfect timing and shout out to Deborah Carr. Shout out to you, Deborah, for coming in the chat and holding us down. We having a good conversation today. The government is reopened after 43 days. We said it would be 41 days. We got furloughs, and stamps have not gone back out. Let me know right now in the chat. Did you get your food stamps? Certain Democratic states gave out stamps. I don't know if Texas, I don't know what red states, if they gave out the food stamps, if they gave out partial food stamps. Let me know in the chat right now. Have you gotten your food stamps? Have you got a notification, right? ACA rollbacks. Early, let's get into this. Trump's new plan. Billions in ACA funds would bypass insurers going directly to individuals. Let's give a little backstory. What we talking about here? Obamacare overhaul. This whole thing was supposed to be about Obamacare and subsidies, right? You did he sell oil? Did he send 40 billion to a foreign country? What is it about the Democratic shills and the Democratic trolls that can't stay on topic? And you bring up shit that you don't know about. You don't know nothing. You don't own a business. You've never been a CEO. You really don't know. And it's so juvenile to frame it in the way you're framing it and not put it in the proper context that it's America giving a third world country money for a purpose. It's the same reason why we give Israel money, why we give the Taliban money. Do you know we give the Taliban money? America gives a lot of people money for a lot of different reasons. And this is chess. It's not the Democratic checker bullshit. Does he sell oil? Did he give 40 billion to it? No, Donald Trump didn't give 40 billion out of his pocket, but as president and leader of the free world, he does dollop out money, weapons, soldiers. A lot of shit goes to a lot of different countries for a lot of political and geopolitical reasons. Take your head out of your ass and stop thinking like a fourth grader and he just gave someone money out of his pocket because he's an evil white man. He happens to be president. He happens to be a billionaire. He happens to be the leader of the free world. And your idiotic democratic programming won't allow you to see how complex it is to be the leader of the free world and in the role of the United States of America, who had stopped manufacturing because of Bill Clinton and went into the business of policing global trade. When we are shooting Venezuelan drug dealers off the coast of South America, that is what we do. That is akin to that great movie. Y'all remember the movie about the African pilots and Tom Cruise and the greatest military force on the earth? Can we give a props to our soldiers? It is so sick what the Democrats did. We have the greatest military. We have the greatest armed service. We have the greatest country. I remember a story of African pirates hijacking a boat. And the boat wasn't a military boat. It was a shipping vessel. And no one understood why America would protect a shipping vessel, because you don't know what America's job is after Bill Clinton. See, the Democrats dumb you down on purpose. When we stopped manufacturing, we went into protection. We protect trade routes. We give money. We're everywhere with our submarines and our air traffic controllers. And we had some of the bravest, most talented men lay in the water for days and hit a shot to free up that boat. Do you guys remember? Our armed services were in the water for 3 days waiting and killed the pirates from the water to save that cargo ship, because that's our job as America. Now, the reason why MAGA voted for Trump is because we have decided we no longer wanted to be in the business of protecting other people's transports in their ports. MAGA says, bring our soldiers back home, bring manufacturing back to the United States. Let's focus our soldiers on protecting American citizens, and let's focus on manufacturing and jobs and the quality of life of American workers going up. That's what MAGA is all about. You guys are smoking dope. MAGA is Make America Great Again. So why is money going to Argentina? Why is money going to Israel? Why is money going to EU? It's because we're the leaders of the free world. Who else is going to do it? We are the big dogs on the block to keep Western society Western, to keep influences Westernized. We give out money, we give out influences, and it's all in the goal and the effort to keep you safe at night. So you could be snuggled up in your bed. Do you know you sleep good? American citizens are the biggest. American citizens, you make me sick. Some of you democratic socialist clowns, I wish we could take away your safety net, because you democratic socialist clowns, you sleep good. You sleep good because of President Trump does the hard thing, because President Trump is the bad guy. That's why you get to sleep so good at night. You get to sleep good at night. President Trump is the one who said no more food stamps to immigrants. President Trump is the one who's telling Gavin Newsom no more CDLs to people who can't read English. See, it's not easy being Trump. It's not easy being Trump, because the Democrats program Americans. And when Trump says you can't give out a license to someone who can't speak English, people immediately think racism, because the Democrats program you to think racism. But your greater sense of intellect should take over and say, well, wait a minute, America is an English country. If they can't read English, they might kill people. And guess what they did? 2 separate drivers given CDLs by Gavin Newsom killed over 6 American citizens. Did you guys know that? Do you guys know why we are fighting the fight that we are fighting? American citizens are suffering. American citizens don't have a budget. American citizens got ran over by a tractor trailer by someone who was driving who could not read or speak English. Now, as an American, I've been American my whole life. Who remember blood on the highway? Who learned how to drive a car in a trailer at high school? Did anybody go in those trailers in high school? Did anybody remember taking driver's ed? Who remembers taking the driver's ed exam? Who remembers practicing? How do you feel knowing? I'm talking about the Generation X. I'm talking about Generation X. I'm talking about the baby boomers. How many of you remember how difficult it was, how hard you worked to get your driver's license, how serious it was for you to follow the rules of the road, tending to put your seatbelt on, and come to find out as a grown American citizen, that after I went through everything I went through, I taught my kids tending to put your seatbelt on, look both ways, that Gavin Newsom would give out a CDL. This is a higher form of a license. This ain't even a regular license. CDLs mean you're supposed to be able to drive at a better rate than a regular American. Gavin Newsom would give out CDLs to people who can't read and write English, and it would cause the death of American citizens. Don't worry about it, Rosa. Don't worry about it, Rosa. I got you. I got your back, Rosa. I got your back, Rosa. Hold on. I got your back, bro. Deborah Smith. Don't worry, Deborah. I got your back, man. Don't worry. I got your back. Don't worry, I got your back, man. Don't worry, man. Nelson, I got you, man. I got you. Let me get y'all out of here, man. This is why they told you believe. Let's get them out of here, man. All right, man. Don't worry. All right. I got you, man. ARW, don't worry about it, brother. ARW, don't worry about it, brother. Life is great in Kenya for me. All right, salute to you, brother. I bet it's beautiful in Kenya. Being a habitual liar that denies repentance is very easy for him. Oh, man, I'm going to get you out of here, man. The racism is too much, man. Mr. C looks like he has a good life. Thank you, Debbie. Now he's safe now, Land Lou, Eric Wise. These clowns don't pay taxes, don't care, just jumping in with their nonsense. Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric. I love you. Thank you so much for your support. The money going to Argentina is not a gift. We make money on a deal. Jeff, thank you, Jeff. Everybody's not dumb. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Debbie. Lenny Lou. Is Lenny Lou a bitch? Because I seen Lenny Lou saying some shit. Lenny Lou, say something else stupid so I know I can get your bitch ass. Trump thinks like chess and the rest are plans. Okay, Lenny Lou, you cool. Y'all got to be careful. I almost got Lenny Lou up out of here, man. Okay. We got him out. Don't call out the people you banned. Then fuck you. And his name is your mama. I don't know how these people got this much time, man. I don't know how these people got this much time. Who else? Your room smells like, okay. Let me get him up out of here. Lenny Lou said, yes, I'm a female. Okay. Donna Dixon, as for Snap is concerned, I'm going to quote my grandmother. It's a poor hen that won't scratch her own bitty. Ooh. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and put that. I'm going to pin that message. I like that. That sounds like something my grandmother would say. Okay, Obamacare overhaul. Trump pushes direct payments for Americans. At the shutdown's core was the expiration of Enhanced Affordable Care Act, ACA, Obamacare subsidies, which Democrats demanded be extended, but they created the timeline. This is the sick part. Trump rejected this, instead proposing to redirect billions in subsidies from the money-sucking insurance companies straight to Americans via health savings accounts. For better, cheaper care, this echoes 2017 GOP efforts, but revives the battle cry amid rising premiums. Trump plans detail billions in ACA funds would bypass insurers, going directly to individuals for plans or costs, potentially saving money but risking market instability. Senate Republicans like Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy praised it as brilliant, shout out, urging a full repeal and filibuster elimination to pass it. I agree with that. Critics, for example, Elizabeth Warren, call it a bait and switch to dismantle Obamacare. Obamacare doesn't work. Obamacare is insolvent, and you guys wrote it, and you wrote the temporary subsidies. Warning of higher uninsured rates, potentially millions losing coverage, and death by 1,000 cuts. Broader ACA rollbacks early 2025. Listen to this. This is what I've been saying. Laws like the One Big Beautiful Bill Act already cut Medicaid. This is what was sinister about the shutdown. This is what they didn't tell you about the shutdown. They were arguing something that was already done. It was never about these things because these things were a closed issue. Listen, earlier in 2025, laws like and it's a law now, it's not up for debate, One Big Beautiful Bill Act already cut Medicaid. It's already done. It can't go back in time. It's a law. And added work requirements projected to uninsured millions and more. This is a law. This can't be changed via a clean resolution. Donald Trump signed this on July 4th. It actually went into effect November 1st. What the Democrats did was very evil and sinister. Enrollment hit a record 24 million, but experts fear collapse without subsidies. We don't need subsidies. We need a working, viable, actual healthcare program in America. #1 country in the world. We don't need Band-Aids. We don't need Obamacare. Just fix it. Just fix it, bro. Just fix it. Other major Trump headlines, the tariff rebate checks. Tariff rebate checks were proposed, $2,000 checks from tariff revenue to offset costs. But economics war, it could overheat the economy and fall short. For example, $300 billion would be the cost for 150 million adults versus what we have collected, which is 195 billion year to date. We have collected, and this is the part where the liberal media don't give you the honest, whole, full picture. We have collected over $200 billion in tariff revenue that we never collected before, but we only started collecting it in August 1st. That means in 3 months, we've collected $200 billion, not a million, 200 billion. By the end of the year, we would have the 300 billion necessary. But beyond that, the math we did earlier is over 4 years, we would collect over, I said 200 billion every 3 months. That would be like over $100 billion. No, I keep getting it wrong because there's so much money. 200 billion every 3 months. That would be something like 600, 800 billion a year. How much would that be over 4 years? 800 billion a year collected in tariffs over 4 years. We talking about, I don't even know how to do 800 billion times 4, right? That's like 1,000 billion. What is that? How many billions is that collected? How much money is that Americans never saw before over a 4-year period? I'm saying 200. Help me out, Wendell. Help me out, Wendell. I'm talking, being funny, running the podcast. You in the chat playing with your balls. Just add it up. Why is America full of the dicks? Why is everybody a dick? And why do I have to compensate for you being such a dick? Fuck, bro. No, I don't know the number off the top of my head of 300 million for 3 months into 12 months times 4 years. Fucking ass. And I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy because I can't do the. Wow, bro. It's just, man, you can't, man. I'll tell you, bro. And this the worst part. It's in the trillions. Thank you, Bo Diddy. Just if I'm so dumb and you're so smart, give the answer. Give the answer. Okay, Wendell. There you go, Wendell. Thank you. Thank you, Wendell. Thank you, Wendell. That's all you had to do. $3.2 trillion. Now that we've gotten the jokes out the way, and the chat is operating as they're supposed to, I can be the host. You could go do the math because I'm actually talking. I don't have a calculator in my hand or in my head. So now that we got a roundabout figure, $3 trillion after 4 years of Donald Trump tariffs, that money we never collected before. Now, this money is not alone. We also have money that the countries, because of tariffs, are now, to avoid tariffs, are building plants in America. I gave you the example of the Harley Davidson. Donald Trump showed an anecdotal story of Harley Davidson wanting to sell motorcycles in India, just so you think America is not unfair. Everywhere charges tariffs to protect intellectual property and protect the quality of life and their wages of their people. That's all Trump is doing. So Harley Davidson wanted to sell motorcycles in India. India said, you're going to have to pay a 200% tariff. Now, we've heard a lot of rumors about 50% tariff, 80% tariff. Have you heard Donald Trump impose a 200% tariff on anybody? I haven't heard it. But this is what is a reality for American companies, while the idiot socialist Democrat trolls don't be honest. Well, American companies have a hell of a time attempting to sell goods anywhere but in America, because every other country sees America as this big, rich country, and they don't want you to sell in their country. And if you try to sell in their country, they're going to charge you a huge tariff to keep you out. So they charge Harley Davidson a 200% tariff. Harley Davidson could not sell motorcycles in India at a profit. You guys hear a lot about soybeans, and you hear a lot about cattle and steak and prices. Listen to the tariff, true debate and argument. Harley Davidson could not sell motorcycles in India because they would lose money because the tariffs were too high. But that was the design. That's how tariffs were used. It's a political, that's why we have to win in the Supreme Court. The president has to have the power to do what India did to Harley Davidson to protect America. India was protecting India by keeping Harley Davidson out. You understand? Guess what Harley Davidson had to do? Harley Davidson built a plant in India, creating jobs for Indians and giving them a unique skill that they never had before, because now they know how to build a Harley Davidson. But when Harley Davidson built the plant in India, they were able to get around the 200% tariffs, sell motorcycles, and make money, make a profit in India selling motorcycles. Toyota just announced that they are investing $10 billion in auto plants in America. Why? Why would Toyota do that? To get around Donald Trump tariffs. Japan is not saying don't do tariffs. Japan understands. America wants manufacturing. America wants wages for Americans to go up. I get it. Toyota could just sell cars in Japan. But if Toyota wants to sell cars in America, you have to pay. You have to pay. That's not mean, right? Toyota is a Japanese company. Go sell your cars in Japan. You can make money in Japan. You want to sell cars in America to Americans, Japanese cars. Before you were able to do it for free. So the Toyota Camry, when it first came out, was remember the Hyundai Elantra? My uncle bought a Hyundai Elantra when it first came out. It was $4,000. Deborah Carr, window rolls, calm down or be removed. No. Don't give him a chance. Get him up out of here. No. Deborah, you so sweet. You so sweet. Don't give him, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. See ya. Don't worry about it. See ya. You ain't got to be here. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here, Deborah. No, the tariffs, Raj, the tariffs don't protect American companies. The tariffs protect American workers. This is the failure of intellect. This is the dumbed down from the Democrats. The tariffs are not about the American companies, brother. The tariffs directly are the reason why your wages are $7.25, and wages haven't went up for the past 15 years. We had Obama for president 8 years, Biden president for 4 years. That's 12 years. $7.25 is the minimum wage. The Democrats have $15 minimum wage on their platform, and they didn't pass it. The reason why your wages are so low is because of Walmart. Walmart brought in cheap goods. Walmart pays $7 an hour. Walmart is one of the biggest employees in the country outside of the federal government. And they only pay $7 an hour, and they only sell $5 toasters. Black Friday is coming up. We traded our wages. We traded our quality of life for a $5 fucking toaster. It's sick. We traded our quality of life for a $5 fucking toaster. And we line up in the morning. We line up and we fight over a fucking $5 toaster. We won't fight over minimum wage increases. We fight over a $5 toaster. It's sick, bro. Why do the workers need to be protected? Doesn't free market capitalism do that? That's a very ignorant and juvenile statement. I mean, do you know at once upon a time, to workers being protected, do you know before FDR in the New Deal, children worked 16-hour days? There were no protection for employees, including children and women. To your naive, ignorant statement that you think is intelligent, I am saying that it was very naive and ignorant. I think it's willfully ignorant. I think you're purposely being a fucking fuckface. I'm calling you a fuckface, a stupid fuckface. Did you know that before the New Deal, what was the movie? Orphan Annie? No, what was that movie with the little boy? Y'all remember the movie with the factory, with the kids working in the factory? My landlord, he passed away, rest in peace. Absolutely ignorant. My landlord, I had a landlord. He was like 80, 90 years old. He said he was born in 1900s, 1908, 1910. He said he would work for 10 cents a day. He worked as a child. Before labor laws to protect employees, he was able to work as a child, right? Double time in factories, children would work like slaves until laws were created to protect employees. The free market did not protect them. Capitalism did not protect them. The free market had no laws and rules. They said work children, no matter what age, chocolate factory, as long as they wanted. They worked the New Deal. I read it. I actually read it. You probably didn't read it, but I read it in school. I was in honor roll, but it actually had carve-outs for children and said you could not work a child a certain amount of hours a day. It became illegal. Protections for employees. That's what the government does. The free market doesn't make laws. Capitalism doesn't make laws. See, the framers of the Constitution, you must be an immigrant. The framers of the Constitution understood this. The writers of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights understood. We have branches of government to create laws to protect citizens. It's so naive and so juvenile. It's so juvenile, and it shows a low level of understanding of your own country and its laws and rules. And that's how the Democrats get over. That's how the Democrats get over. My grandmother would put me in the fields. I don't eat those peas. I don't pick and shell them. Come on. My grandmother would put me in the field. He don't know what he's talking about. He just trying to sound smart. He's just trying to sound smart. He ended up getting roasted. Now he probably quiet, feeling stupid. Because I did. This is the thing too about the trolls. What did I do? I called him a bitch, right? But what did I do? I presented the facts. He asked a stupid question. I clowned him, and then I gave him the facts. And then now here we go. Didn't Trump? No, he is ignoring the fact that he just got called a bitch and just got roasted. I presented to you facts. Yes, the reason we have a government, what you just did in the chat is allow me to define why we have government. And it's sick that American citizens don't understand why the government exists. It is to create laws that protect employees, children, and citizens. Holy fucking shit. You don't know that, bro? You don't know that, bro? We're talking about a government shutdown. We're talking about a government shutdown. Without the government being open, what you should wonder is who is protecting you? If we have no government, then yes, you are, this is great debate actually, because there was a debate. I listened to intellectuals, and I was listening to these intellectuals one day discuss human rights. It was a great conversation because the Bill of Rights is based on Christianity, right? The Bill of Rights is based on Christianity and this idea that humans are born with something called rights. And I was listening to this intellectual debate, and I've never heard this premise before. And it was an atheist. These men were PhD scientists. And he said, there's no such thing as human rights. Human rights are made up. They're fictitious. Because I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God, so I don't believe in God gives you certain inalienable rights. But at the same time, the atheist said, I do understand that as a human, I benefit. Listen to this. And I know a lot of you won't get it because a lot of you are too stupid to understand. The atheist said, I do understand that I do benefit from this ideology of God and human rights, because without these quote unquote human rights from in the sky, then men with power and muscle would take and pillage anything they wanted. What is to stop a man from robbing and pillaging and taking what he wants? This is why religion was created. Religion was created to stop men in its essence from being men and to control men, right? Because without religion and this ideology that everybody is born with inalienable rights and equal rights to something that never existed before religion. There is nobody, just because you exist don't mean this kill or be killed. It's the law of the jungle. But the Bible and the Constitution says, no, there's something called God. right? To keep men from being savages. This is what civilization, because this idiot is asking just, this is about civilization. So they said, no, there's something called God. This is how you civilize man who are living in the jungle, kill or be killed. You give them books and religion. No. You can't just kill him and take his wife because you're stronger. Why not? What's going to stop me? Why can't I kill him and take his wife? Because we have something called God. Oh, okay. And God said these commandments. And in these commandments, God said you can't kill and you can't steal, and everybody has a right to these certain things because God says so. What? Now I'm stronger than him. I'm stronger than him. I'm killing him and I'm taking his wife and his money. I don't believe in that God shit. Forget all of that equal rights shit. I'm stronger. I'm faster. I'm killing him and I'm taking his wife and his land. And I'm going to grow it. That's how we've always done it. Until you get America, and then you get the Bill of Rights. You guys know it never existed before. Do you know why I say America is the greatest country? Hey, what? No, I didn't know that. The wind must have blew it open. Thank you, baby. My wife just came and brought me some tortilla soup. So we was talking about civilization and we talking about the Bill of Rights, and the Bill of Rights is so great. The religion provided morals, correct. Dan said it right. The Bill of Rights is such the greatest document because think about it. Did humans have inalienable rights before America? Think about it. Because of America. Think about this. Think about how great America is. Y'all don't think about this. This is why I love America. Think about how great America is. Before America, and I'm talking about this because this idiot brought up children. Before America and before the Bill of Rights, before inalienable rights, women, minorities, and children were like cattle. Because of America, because of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, women, minority, and children were able to use this magical document to free themselves and uplift themselves into a place in the world where they had never been before. America created this leap board for women globally. Women vote now. Women read now. Women are leaders and presidents. That doesn't happen without the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Black people use these documents to free them. Civil rights, the Civil Rights Act. Without the mechanism of the Bill of Rights, you don't have the vehicle, right, to elevate blacks and minorities out of the stance that they were in pre-America. Pre-America, where were blacks globally? Pre-America, how were women treated in politics? Do you understand how great the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is and what it did and the pathway it created? Not just for American women, not just for American children, not just for American blacks, but globally. The ripples were felt globally. When women got the vote in America, Western society had to empower women. When children were given rights in America, Western society had to protect. When minority and blacks were... Now, do you guys understand why I'm the host? Now, do you guys understand why I'm the host? This is why I'm the host. A lot of you be like, why is he talking about politics? I understand this shit a lot better than most of you. Do you guys understand the Bill of Rights? We are based on Anglo-Christian, Judeo-Christian. You hear the debate now. What is Candace Owens? And what is this great Charlie Kirk debate and divide? Are we Christian? Are we Judeo-Christian? Do you know what we are predicated on? Why things are happening the way they are happening in Israel, Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump? Do you know what Judeo-Christian is? Can anybody say it in the chat? We are having a great conversation today. I'm supposed to be talking about the shutdown. I love getting into this shit. Do you know what Judeo-Christian is? Zay, I'm going to give you one chance, Zay, to tell me a fact. Zay, I'm going to give you one chance to give me a fact or you're out of here. All you did was give a negative comment. You are, okay, you're out of here. You don't have any facts. Tried to give you a chance to give you a fact. You don't have any facts. You don't have any facts. What can I do with people who just want to be negative? It's obvious he doesn't understand. I knew that already. I knew that already. I don't think a lot of people know where the Bill of Rights come from. I think they believe they have these inalienable rights, these magical rights. What happens? People want America to go away. Do you guys, if America goes away, Western society, no one else has these Bill of Rights. You don't go to China and you don't have, in communist countries, you don't have a Bill of Rights. You don't have inalienable, you don't have this shit. I think you're smarter than that brother to say there's no creator is akin to asserting that everything is in existence across from nothing without any. I'm not saying that there's no creator and all that shit, man. You got to understand, man. You got to understand, man. It's a broader, deeper understanding that people need to understand where rights come from. We did not have rights. We did not have a Bill of Rights, and that women, children, and minorities use these great documents as vehicles to uplift themselves globally. You guys keep jumping over the facts. Women, children, and minorities use this great document, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, to elevate themselves globally. Women vote. And when women got the vote in America, it rippled across Western society. When minorities were freed via the Civil Rights Act and slavery, that rippled across society. We were the first country with these ideas. America, this is why we stand out. A city on a shining hill. A city on a shining hill. We were the first with these Bill of Rights, with this Constitution, with this vehicle that was created by the founders that was meant to morph and change and become greater. They created this document and vehicle that you could add. This vehicle that could live, a living document. How great is this country? A living document. Jocelyn said, hi, Anthony, I'm going to give you one chance to tell me a fact or I'm going to get you out of here. What is I have truth and what is the whole truth? The whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Because anybody just coming in with put downs, I'm getting you out of here. Why do you think everyone wants to come here? Thank you. We are the greatest nation in the world. Thank you. Shout out to Jeff. No more tyranny. The creator is not referred as a deity or God in the Bill of Rights, but its evolution and the right to decide to survive. Yeah, I get it. I don't know why some people pretend. I think they're purposely pretending not to get it. I think they purposely pretend not to get it. Donna Dixon, Bruce Willis said in an interview, men may think the rule of the world, but women control it. Ooh, good point. Good point. Good point. Babe, you still here? She must have left. We had an hour and 28, man. We had a fire conversation today, man. Let's get to the tape. Let's play some video. Let's get to the tape, man. Let's look at some video, man. Donald Trump signed it. What else did I had Donald Trump sign? I had let's go. We're gonna go to Hakeem Jeffries. We're gonna go to AOC. Let's get some video, man. That's the nicest fake hair I've ever seen. Man, shout out to my brother Chaotic Truth, man. Shout out to my brother Chaotic Truth. I had locks before, and there's another black brother in the channel in the space that does political commentary. He has a haircut. I saw Chaotic Truth on Sharon Bracey's channel too the other day. Shout out to you, brother Chaotic Truth, man. You've been doing great work. I haven't seen you live. I don't know what's up with the algorithm, but I really want to get on your panel and give you a hard time, man. You know, I know you do great work for MAGA. You do great work for conservative Republicans. You do great work for black conservatives. So shout out to you and Huff the Mighty. Shout out to you for that joke. That was actually a good joke. I like jokes like that, man. I know it's YouTube. I know people gonna roast you and shit like that. They talk about my nose, my ears, my glasses. I'm good with all of that. We could roast all day. The shit that bother me is when the paid robot type trolls come in and they say shit that's actually hurtful to Americans. And I have to wonder.
Unwillingness.
I have to wonder
to
about
actually find common ground in order to make fight will end. Only two ways, Mr. Speaker, that this fight will end.
What the hell is wrong with
Either
this?
Republicans finally decide to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits this year, or the American anytime, any place. Fight will end. Only two ways, Mr. Speaker, that this fight will end. Either Republicans finally decide to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits this year, or the American people will throw Republicans out of their jobs next year and end the speakership of Donald J. Trump once and for all. That's how this fight ends. Mr. Speaker, during this painful Trump Republican shutdown, what we've seen is two different philosophies in terms of how to govern for the American people. The Democratic Party philosophy is clear. We are ready, willing, and able to find bipartisan common ground anytime, any place, to enact spending agreements that actually make life better for the American people. But in order to do that, we need to have partners on the other side of the aisle who are actually willing to find a bipartisan path forward. But what we've seen from Republicans from the very beginning of this presidency is a my way or the highway approach. That's been the Republican philosophy. Jam your extremism down the throats of the American people. That's what we've seen from day one of this presidency. That's the reason why the government has been shut down by Republicans and Donald Trump for the longest period of time in American history. What have we seen? Fight will end. Only two ways, Mr. Speaker, that this fight will end.
Why does he have to keep saying that? Why does he have to keep saying over and over again that the Republicans shut down the government? Why does he have to keep saying that as he is filibustering the vote? This whole speech he's giving right now is to filibuster the vote, to keep the government closed. Oh God, they don't respect you, man. They don't respect you. The Democrats do not respect you, bro. Double tap hit the like button, man. We need 100 likes. Double tap hit the like button. We need 100 likes, man.
From New York is recognized for 1 minute.
It is great. It is great that Democrats have a line of people who are willing to fight for working class Americans from coast to coast in this country, because God forbid that we have a member of the Republican caucus who stands up and actually wants to extend the Affordable Care Act so that people with cancer, insulin, and issues across all sorts of healthcare issues across this country
She's just making it up. She messed up because she just making it up. Let's watch that again. Oh, Lord, you gotta love her. You gotta love her.
People with cancer, insulin, and issues across all sorts of healthcare issues across this country.
Cancer, insulin, all type of shit. Cancer. She trying to do serious things that, our Democrats like to scare you. People with cancer, insulin, all type of shit.
Have their health insurance protected and extended throughout 2026. It is unconscionable that what we are debating right now is legislation that will give 8 members of the United States Senate over $1 million apiece. And we are robbing people of their food assistance and of their health care to pay for it.
You robbing them.
Is this even on the floor? How can we, as members of Congress, Republican or Democrat, vote to enrich ourselves by stealing from the American people? That is what this legislation does. In fact, Senator Graham just went before the press earlier today saying he was going to seek well over $1 million from the American people from this. We cannot support it, and we cannot stand for it. Thank you.
We cannot support it. Do you understand what she was saying? AOC was saying we cannot vote for the clean CR. Let's say, did AOC vote to open the government? Come on, let's have a conversation this morning. Did AOC vote? Let's say, did AOC vote? Yes. Did AOC vote? You need to know, because she wants to run for Senate. Did she vote yes on the government being open? No. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, did not vote yes on the bipartisan funding bill passed on November 12th. Quick context: the bill, H.R. Continuing Resolution to fund the federal government through January 30th, plus full-year appropriations for agriculture, veteran, military, construction. Legislative agencies ended the 43 shutdown October 1st through November 12th, but did not extend expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies, a key Democratic demand. House vote breakdown: 222 voted yes, 209 voted no. We need to know who voted no, especially you, because they voted against your food stamps. Yes, all 216 Republicans voted present. 6 Democrats, defectors, Jared Golden, Henry Cellular from Texas, Don Davis from North Carolina, Maria Gluskamp Perez from Washington, Adam Gray from California, Tom Suozzi from New York, all voted with the Republicans on the clean CR to open the government. No, 203 Democrats, including AOC, Hakeem Jeffries, and progressives like the Squad, that's Jasmine Crockett, voted no. 0 Republicans opposed the CR. Y'all need to know who opened the government and who closed the government. Somebody, Joseph said wrong. Definitely more educated than you, though. How, Joseph, who you talking to? Who you talking to, Joseph? What Joseph talking about? Man, you about to get blocked, man. Okay, why AOC voted no? AOC was vocal against the bill, calling the shutdown cruelty inflicted by the Trump administrations. How can they say that but vote no? SNAP delays, furloughs. She slammed it for failing to protect ACA affordability amid rising premiums, and accused Senate Democrats like Chuck Schumer of tremendous mistake. Oh, AOC was going at Chuck Schumer. We already know she's going to primary. This all been about power. It's never been about food stamps. AOC is running a campaign. AOC is using the shutdown as a campaign. The Democrats use the shutdown as a campaign. She urged unity. We cannot enable this kind of cruelty with our cowardice. This aligns with her history of opposing funding bills without progressive priorities. Broader fallout. Senate passes 60-40. 52 Republicans and 8 Democrats passed in the Senate. Trump's signature signed at 9:43 p.m. Reopen agencies immediately. Retroactive pay furlough workers to 800,000. Next battle. Democrats led by Jeffries plan to discharge petition for ACA extensions in 2026 midterms. Push. Polls show 70% for support for subsidies. What's odd to me is the changes were in the beautiful bill, but no Dems fought. And now they seek to change a law. Seems backwards. Explain that. Seems backwards. Unpacking the backward politics. Big beautiful bill cuts Democratic silence in the post-shutdown ACA push. I totally get why it feels off. It's like the Democrats let major healthcare rollbacks slide in the one big beautiful bill early this year, only to draw a hard line now on protecting Obamacare subsidies. It does seem inconsistent at first glance, but it's rooted in the brutal realities of legislative power dynamics, budget reconciliation tricks, and strategic timing. Let's break it down step by step based on how this played out in 2025. What was the big beautiful bill? This is a massive budget reconciliation package. H.R. 1 signed into law July 2025 that kicked off Trump's second term agenda, dubbed as the one big beautiful bill by Republicans. It is a 940-page behemoth combining tax cuts, spending priorities, and policy overhauls. Key ACA healthcare changes in the big beautiful bill. Medicaid cuts, nearly $1 trillion slashed over 10 years, including work requirements, block grants to states, and tighter eligibility. This is projected to leave 11 million more uninsured, hitting low-income families hardest. This was all part of the big beautiful bill passed in days. How long did it take to pass the big beautiful bill? How long did it take to pass the big beautiful bill? Just so you have context for this debate. The changes they're talking about they want in the Clean CR. The timeline of the big beautiful bill passes. The one big beautiful bill, H.R. 1, and the 119 Congress of the magic budget reconciliation, 940 pages. Tax cuts, ACA, it took about 1.5 months, 43 days from initial House passage to presidential signature. But the full process from introduction to law spanned roughly 6 months if counting early committee work. Here's timeline. January 3rd, the bill was introduced. So Trump introduced this bill as soon as he became president. When was the inauguration? H.R. 1 dropped the House by Ways and Means Chair John Smith. Reconciliation instructions included the fiscal year 2025 budget resolution passed the House in February. This passed the House in February. It passed the Senate in March. It was signed into law in July. House passed 215 and 214, narrowest margin ever for a reconciliation. July 1st, Senate approved amended version 51-50. July 3rd, House concurred on Senate amendments 218-214. 4 GOP, no Dems unified against debate, lasted 12 hours. July 4th, Trump signs into law. Why it felt fast. Reconciliation speed. As a budget bill, it passed filibuster, simple majority only, but internal government drama from April to May. Total time to pass from intro to signature, 182 days. From the first floor vote, 43 days. Dems roll, they delayed via amendments. but couldn't block post-passage. Focus shifted to states fixing and midterm attacks. So the big, beautiful bill passed very easily. The big, beautiful bill passed easily, and now they're trying to make changes via a clean resolution, and we still do not have a budget. We still do not have a budget. Let's go back to the tape. So we had Hakeem Jeffries. We had AOC. I think I had Trump. I think I had Trump at the White House. Let me see. Okay, let's get this Trump.
Going to go down. It went the exact opposite.
Let's get this Trump right here. Trump news. Giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Is it raining where y'all at, man? We got an atmospheric river in Northern California.
Going to go down. It went the exact opposite with the biggest increase of healthcare in any country. It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance, and you'll negotiate different plans, and you'll get much better insurance, and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself. So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with healthcare. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own healthcare, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape.
Amen. Amen. The country has never been in better shape. The country has never been in better shape, man. Finally, we're going to fix this Obamacare. And do you know the reason why we couldn't address Obamacare and Obamacare was designed to fail? It's because you want your king. Isn't it funny about the No Kings protest? They can't deal with the fact Obamacare needs to be fixed, and Obamacare was always broken. Obamacare was just giving money to the insurance companies. So instead of getting the single payer, right? They were supposed to do single payer healthcare, right? They didn't do it. Instead, Obama created these things where the insurance companies been getting rich for the past 10 years. Trump said they stocks going up 1,000%. This whole thing has been a scam. Obamacare was a scam. It's been a scam, but they won't change it because he is your Wakanda black king. And if we change Obamacare, then we have to be honest about the Obama presidency was not beneficial to the American people. And we have to ask what Trump asked, where's his birth certificate? Who put him in office? How did he become president? Obama was a junior senator for months before he was elected president. He was a junior senator for months. He did not have experience, and he ruined the country. He got saddled with Joe Biden, who had been in the Senate for over 40 years. We don't know what really happened under the Obama presidency. What we do know is that Wall Street collapsed under Bush. And then Obama and Bush created TARP. They gave out a bailout to Wall Street, and Jamie Dimon and those people created a lot of wealthy people during Obama's 8 years. People who should have went to jail didn't go to jail. People got bonuses. Anybody remember Occupy? See, Barack Obama, his legacy is not Obamacare. His legacy is Occupy Wall Street and the bonuses that got paid out after he gave his friends and cronies billions and trillions of dollars to save their ass after gambling with the American people's money. That's Obama's legacy. You want Obama's legacy to be a broken healthcare that hasn't worked. So once we dismantle Obamacare, then you will be forced to deal with the true legacy of the Obama presidency. What else is the legacy of the Obama presidency? The Ukraine, Zelensky. See, we never get to Obama's real legacy. The Ukraine, and while we're dealing with Israel and Gaza conflicts today, why Trump has to clean up Obama's mess. Do you remember the way Biden left Afghanistan? This is the true legacy of the Democrats. In 2014, that's when the problem with the Ukraine started, when we trained and we condoned the Nazi Azov battalion becoming part of the Ukraine army. The leader of the Nazi Azov battalion became a member of Ukraine parliament. We made Zelensky an actor and a television star, the president, in 2014. See, we planted the seeds. Obama, not me, Obama, America, and your Democrats planted the seeds. So Obamacare has to go, not only because Obamacare is broken, because we need to dismantle your king. Remember, you said no kings. You said no kings. You said no kings. Obama is not a king. Obamacare is broken. It has never worked. We're going to break it down, and you're going to be forced to deal with Obama's real legacy. When did the conflict in Ukraine start? What is the downstream effects of quantitative easing? Oh, Occupy, Jamie Dimon. Huh? I'm not supposed to know about this shit. We're not supposed to talk about quantitative easing, Jamie Dimon. Huh? Occupy, the Ukraine, Afghanistan, Obama's real legacy. See, this is what the Democrats don't want to have. This is why independent media is so powerful. This is why independent media is so powerful, because we are not talking about the realities. The reason Joe Biden was replaced by Kamala is because Trump whooped his ass in the first debate. Why did Joe Biden lose the first debate? Because Trump was able to assassinate his character on being a poor leader based on the way he left Afghanistan. And if you look at Joe Biden and the way he left Afghanistan, correlate that back to Obama. You have to correlate that back to Obama. Joe Biden should not shoulder the blame of the debacle of Afghanistan alone. That should be shared blame for him, Hillary, and Obama. And that's why Joe Biden had to step down. There was no other discussion. When Donald Trump assassinated his character on the money loss, the American lives, how embarrassing, you're leaving. You are the president and leader of the army and the world, and the way you left Afghanistan was embarrassing. Biden had no get back. After that, everybody knew Trump would beat Biden in an election. And then they went with Kamala. They went with Kamala because Biden performed so poorly in that first debate. And when Trump presented that information to the American people and reminded the American people not only of Biden's failure, but Obama's failure. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not just Biden's failure, it's Obama and the Democrats. When you look at Ukraine, when you look at the Ukraine-Russia conflict, when you look at the Azov, when you look at Gaza, Obama presidency 8 years what did Biden and Obama do in Israel and Gaza? When you look at these geopolitical conflicts that exacerbated under the Democrats, Obamacare has to go. He is not a king. It's okay. It's okay. Obamacare has to go. He's not a king. He's not a king. And guess what? He's not even president. He's not even president. It's not even Obamacare. It's a nickname. It's the Affordable Care Act. It has to go. I'm sorry, Wakanda. I am sorry, Wakanda. Obamacare has to go. And Wakanda, you're going to have to be honest about Obama's legacy. Obamacare was broken. It didn't work. He fucked up the globe. He fucked up the bed. Interest rates, mortgages. The American people ripped off the car industry. He sold the car industry. We never talk about true Obama legacy because of Obamacare. Can we get it out the way? Can we get it out the way? Can we get our country back? Can we make America great again? Can we make America great again? Can we stop living under this Obama kinghood? There's this Obama king shit hovering over the country. Oh, we can't touch that. Obama did it. Oh, you can't go against Obama. Obama, your mama. Oh, no. Obama's going to come out and campaign for Kamala. Obama, your mama. Obama said if you don't vote for Kamala, you don't like your mama. You're a black man, don't vote for Kamala, you don't love your mama. Obama, your mama. You got to go, bro. You got to go, bro. You got to go, bro. So much. Not to mention James Comey under Obama, Biden, and Clinton, and all of the shit that Comey did. Who was Comey's president? James, y'all want to go down the list? What? Hunter Biden laptop? Russia dossier? Like with January 6th, they subpoenaed the president's phone. They subpoenaed the president and the vice president's phone. Arctic Frost, the Hillary Clinton server. James Comey, this is why he's being indicted and we want to ask him questions, but Comey, Obama's a good guy. If Comey was who was directing Comey? We know for a fact, listen to this, we already know for a fact that Obama directed Comey to investigate the Trump campaign. That just went away. Remember, people just forgot about that. When Trump was running for president the first time, the FBI was on the bus. You guys don't remember this? You don't remember when it came out that Obama had a secret investigation into Donald Trump's campaign? That led into Russia collusion. That led into Arctic Frost. So if Comey is a bad guy, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it. You can say it in the chat. I'm not going to say it. Oh, Fauci. Oh, my God, Fauci. Oh, my God, Fauci. Oh, Fauci got a pardon. Who lived through that time? I work in Kaiser. I work at Kaiser for 15 years. I work in healthcare my whole life. I was so upset during that time. I knew Fauci was an idiot because I know dumb doctors and I know smart doctors because I work in healthcare for 15 years. I knew Fauci was an idiot because I know in America, everybody comes up like all doctors are smart. And you don't know that all doctors are not smart unless you work around intimately. And then you figure out like, fuck, you got to be a doctor and you're an idiot. How can you get to be a doctor and you're an idiot? Well, if you work in healthcare, you find out there are a lot of doctors who are idiots. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I don't mean to bust your bubble. I don't mean to bust your bubble. Don't be scared to go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Listen to your doctor. I'm not trying to bust your bubble. I'm not. But I knew Fauci was an idiot. I knew Fauci was an idiot. And At the end of all of the idiotic things Fauci did, he got a pardon. I was hurt. As someone who worked in the medical field, and I knew the damage he was doing by saying the idiotic things he said, for him to get a pardon, that was criminal. For anybody who work in healthcare, I know you had to be hurt. Because we take our job seriously. We take HIPAA seriously. We take the Hippocratic Oath seriously. For Fauci to get a pardon, that was disgusting. For Fauci to get a pardon, that was disgusting. A doctor who we trusted, a doctor who gave out advice. You just gonna give him pardon because he gave out bad advice that led to bad things? You don't give a doctor a pardon. That was evil. Thank you for whoever brought up Fauci, bro. I'm talking about Cuomo, I'm talking about Obama, but Fauci is another one. These people don't act alone. Cuomo doesn't exist in the vacuum. Fauci doesn't exist in the vacuum. Obama, Hillary, and Biden have to share and shoulder the blame because these people were their subordinates. Barack Obama directed the investigation. As the president, he was the one who said, investigate Trump on the bus. I think they should have given him a big place and how it should be very small. Pardons were handed out like Halloween candy. PH Duh, he has a huge place in hell. That's right. How can you get a pardon if you didn't get convicted of a crime? Man, that's a great, I like that comment. I like that. That's a good comment. What's your name? Valerian Steel Katana? Oh, I like the name too. Katana Blade. Hold on. Where's my Katana Blade? Let me get for that comment. I'm gonna get my Katana Blade for that comment. I like that comment, man. That was a great comment, man. That was a great comment, man. Oh man, that was a great comment, man. That was a great comment. Oh, man, I like that. I like that. Great comment, man. Thank you for that great comment, man. Katana. Japanese steel. Japanese steel. Great comment, man. Great comment. That's the Democrat. Dudes always trolling for white people's likes and subs. Get you out of here, baby. You don't have to hang out with us. We having a good time. We don't need you to have fun. There's a sick blade. Thank you, brother. You inspired me to go grab a cheap knife. David said cheap knife. Bye, David. Bye, David. Bye, David. Player hater. He said cheap knife. Cheap knife. This ain't a knife. Tell him in the chat. This ain't a knife, brother. Tell him in the chat. It looks like it needs to be oiled. Fuck you. You need to be oiled. Always derogatory comments, mad because they can't go to their collection. Did you even know I had a katana sword over there? Look at all that shit I got over there. Look at all that shit I got over there. Did you even know I had a katana sword over there? Stop being jealous. Stop hating. Yeah, knife. Did you even know? Look at all this shit. Did you even know I had a katana blade over there? Got katana blade. Hold on. Let me get some more shit. Let me get some more. Get some more shit. get some. Here we go. I just want to show this. We was reading about this the other day. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Let me show some more shit. I was talking about Wakanda. This is Wakanda, Obama, your mama, Wakanda. Shout out to my brother with the katana, the last Ronin. Can you see it? The last Ronin. The last Ronin. That's the last Ronin right there. Huh? And then we got the book, The Last Ronin. Right? This is, y'all want to do story time? Y'all want to do story time? Hardback. All the Last Ronin comics in one book. So just some more stuff. Thank you, brother. Just some more stuff. All this is part of that collection. This all go together. This all go together. Samurai, Black Samurai. Asake! 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 Osake! Black Samurai shit, you know. Oak Foxtail said I'm a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, for real. Shout out to you, brother. Me too. If you from my generation, you gotta love Ninja Turtles. If you from my generation. That's Splinter right there. That's the new Splinter. And I got the 10-inch. I got the 10-inch. I'm not gonna take it out though. That's a 10-inch. That's a 10-inch from the new movie. That's Ice Cube. That's Jam Master Jay back there. Biggie, Pac. Oh, this one, classic Turtles right there. Classic Turtles right there. What else I got? Classic Turtles right there. Biggie. I don't know if I got any. The Thing is back there, Fantastic Four Thing, 10-inch. And then Mandalorian and Rick and Morty back there somewhere. More Wakanda. Man, that rain is coming down hard, man. That rain is coming down hard, man. Y'all hit the super chat. Y'all hit the super chat, hit the like, man, so I can buy some more toys, man. Somebody put my Honey Sweet said, nice collection. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll tell my grandson all those unopened Happy Meal toys are for his college. You know what I got? I was asking my wife the other day. Everybody watching. Oh man, hit this. I got this the other day. So somebody I saw a TikTok or something, and he was saying he had a Hulk Hogan, and he said his Hulk Hogan is worth like a lot of money. Somebody tell me how much is my Hulk Hogan? Rest in peace, man. I know Hulk Hogan said some racist stuff. I know it's kind of like, everybody, all the black people gonna be like, he like Trump, he like Hulk Hogan, you don't like your race. You just wasn't a kid in the 80s. You don't know what it's like to love Hulk Hogan. It's sad Hulk Hogan said those things, but I love Hulk Hogan. This is Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Can somebody tell me in the chat how much is this worth? How much is this worth? I don't know. I've had it for a long time. It's kind of sad Hulk Hogan passed away. That's my YouTube shirt. That's my YouTube, the couple awards I got from YouTube. But how much is this worth, y'all? Who made it? They said this is Mattel. So it's made by Mattel. I don't want to take it down. I don't want to know what year it was made. I'm not going to take it down. I don't know what year it was made. I was watching a TikTok, and the guy was like, "Oh man, my Hulk Hogan is worth so much money. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan." I was like, "Wait a minute, how much is my Hulk Hogan?" Big Bubba Rogers. Ice Cube. Ice Cube was the new fly. Ice Cube was the new fly. Ice Cube was the new fly. All right, all right. Great collection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't hear, we can't hear. I hate when it does that. Nancy, how about now? Can you hear me now? Man, this rain, man. Rain, go away. Come again another day. So we're going to get out of here, man. Volume is back. Thank you, thank you. What's this? By Trump is undoubtedly illegal attempt to divert attention from the Epstein files. Oh my God. What else do we got? Oh, I want to share something new. I like giving out information to my audience. I had some information I want to share with my audience. Let me see. I'm sorry I waited to the end. Damn it. I had this tidbit. Some TSA agents will get $10,000 bonus for exemplary service during shutdown. Homeland Security says TSA agents with exemplary service during the shutdown receive a $10,000 bonus check. Thank you for your service to all the TSA agents. Thank you to everybody who was furloughed and still had to go to work. Shout out to that. I don't know if you guys heard about that economic hit from the shutdown is worse than 2018 and 2019. The full effects of the longest shutdown in history are yet to be seen, but the hit to the economy will be significantly worse than it was during 2018 and 2019 shutdown, according to brief analysis by Anderson Economic Group, LLC. We won't have the government statistics for at least a month, but the private sector information we have now is worse in effects in 2025 than the last episode that ended in 2019, said Patrick Anderson, the firm's principal CEO. He said beer and auto sales both took a tumble in October. The firm noted auto sales were 4% down in October from September, and beer sales were down 6%. When beer drops, you know something's wrong. Okay. I had this date I want to share with you guys, man. The Capitol Visitor Center reopened to the public this morning. Tour guides outfitted in crisp red blazers dotted Emancipation Hall as individual large groups steamed in through main entrance. We're glad to be back, one guy beamed. We were coming up away. Unfortunately, the Capitol and the government was closed up until last night, Dalton said. We got here and it was a ghost town. Cab drivers have been waiting there hours for me. He had 2 jobs the whole day, so it was just affected SNAP and TSA and air controllers, but the whole city of Washington, D.C., as well as America, was punished, and I am glad that we're open back up. Amen. Asked how they perceived the shutdown coming from another country, explained that only thing I can say is I think there's a lot going on in the world, and there are many people opposing each other on many sides and subjects. I would love to see them make things work. Me too. We need some more unity in the country, man. We need some more unity. Man, what was that thing about? Oh, okay. Okay, what we know about the end of the government shutdown. The longest shutdown in government history ended on Wednesday after the House approved the Senate passed bill and a package that Trump signed into law. The legislation that ends funding for most agencies. The legislation extends funding for most agencies until January 30th and includes 3 bills that fund other parts of the government through September 2026. The Senate approved the legislation on Monday when 8 Democrats joined Republicans in the standoff in the upper chamber. After 6 weeks of impasse, the forced thousands of workers to go without paychecks, threatened access to food benefits to millions, air traffic disruptions across the country, the government began to reopen. Thursday morning, as furlough employees returned to work and agencies ramped up normal operations, back pay for some federal employees will begin going out as early as Sunday, according to a memo from the White House Budget Office. Others will have to wait until November 19th. That's what I wanted to share. God bless you too, Deborah. Thank you for supporting me, man. Finally, I can go back to work. So this is what I wanted to share with everybody. Back pay for some federal employees will begin to go out as early as Sunday, according to the memo from the White House budget. Others will have to wait until November 19th. That's messed up. I think the 17th is Monday. So some people are getting paid. Some people got to wait till next week. I'm going to pray for y'all, man. I pray y'all get y'all money ASAP. I pray y'all get y'all back pay. And I want the TSA agents to get that $10,000 bonus. And thank you to everybody who showed up to work. Thank you to everybody who did overtime. I mean, there are great Americans in this country. You know, there are a lot of trolls in my chat, but there are a lot of great Americans. And I want to say thank you for your service, man. So I just want to share that last little bit of information that some people got to wait till November 19th, man. So in case y'all didn't know, you know, I just want to share that with you. The resolution on the funding battle tees up a fresh fight over healthcare tax credits under the Affordable Care Act, which will expire at the end of the year. Millions of Americans are set to see their premium spike without action from Congress, and Senate Democrats secured a vote on the issue mid-December as part of the deal that ended the shutdown.